Hi everyone, this is Akash, and today I would like to show you this app that I've created. I'm naming it EasyDocker. With EasyDocker, you can install any app on your NAS very easily. This will work on UGREEN, QNAP, Synology, Asustor, wherever Docker works. It will work even on Docker desktop for Windows, right? How this works is it works on recipes. What I realized when I was doing videos for Ugreen is I do a lot of videos on Ugreen, right? Especially around Docker. I realized that people need an easier way to install an app. Many people don't want to fiddle around with Docker Compose, see how to run a Docker run command, and even though I try to make it easier, even then there is a learning curve. Okay, so this is going to be the easiest way for you to install an app. Let's say you want to install Tailscale. There is a recipe for Tailscale. This recipe is just a template for this app. I have 14 recipes now, but I'm going to be adding more. So click on refresh recipes, and if there are any new recipes, it will automatically download. Let's look at Tailscale. You click install on Tailscale, and the only thing it asks you is the auth key. Okay, and I made sure that there are helps here everywhere. Click on help. You will see that this can be had from Tailscale page. It takes you right to the keys page. You can generate a key here and then paste it here. And this is it. You can now click review YAML and deploy. But of course, we have made it very, very transparent. You can see that Tailscale data is the persistent folder, and you can change the location. Under optional advanced, you will see many other advanced options. For example, if you want to have exit node, you just have to toggle this to yes. If you want to advertise route, subnet routing, then you can do it here. It also tells you the format, how this has to be used. Under advanced, you have got all the arguments for Tailscale up or Tailscale daemon. Uh, so this can be as complex as you want or as easy as you want it to be. For advanced users, you can have all the advanced and optional things here. For users who just want one-click install, they can do it. Review YAML, it shows you now the YAML file that you're going to use. This is the docker compose.yaml file. It's going to run docker compose up with this compose. You can copy this, paste it in chat GPT just to see if you want to learn more, if you want to see what it is. Click on deploy, and all right, this is done. Back to home. You see now under installed apps, you will see TSG Tailscale. You see TSG2 external project. This is a project that that's been deployed not using EasyDocker. Anything that is deployed using EasyDocker is here, TSG Tailscale. All right. Now you cannot stop the container from here. You can start container from here. You cannot delete container from here. EasyDocker is only there to help you install an app. Everything else is done from the official Docker app. So once this is installed, you will see under container, you see the stage Tailscale. You can do shut down, restart, deletion, all that will happen from here. Now let's look at something more complex. Let's look at, for example, Immich. All right, click on Immich. The only thing you need to place here is the database password. I'm assuming that this library folder is good enough for you, but if you have your pictures somewhere, you would like to change this. If you have got more libraries, then you can go to advanced and put extra mount for libraries, and the format is here. Help is everywhere. Okay, I'm going to make sure that these help fields are there everywhere. Just click on review YAML. As usual, it shows you the compose file. You click on deploy, and it will deploy Immich. Let me show you something else. I have also made here an entry for persistent variables. Persistent variables, you have PUID and PGID here. You can just put them here once, and they will be automatically filled in for you. I'll explain later on what is PUID and PGID. I keep explaining in my videos. I use many Linux server images. There, if you don't want to run into any permission issues, you can use the PUID and PGID of the current user. Time zone is automatically detected and filled in. I have run detect system hardware. Once I do that, it detects how many CPU threads I have, what is the RAM I have, and whether I have a GPU or not. So these are the two GPUs on Intel and AMD. All right, so they are saved. Now, why I showed you is, let's say you want to install Plex. Just click on install. Nothing required. You can actually just click review YAML and deploy here. Of course, you will have to change your TV library folder and movies library folder. Other than this, you see PUID is filled, PGID is filled. Under optional, your time zone is filled. You can have your Plex claim token here if you want to claim your Plex server. Then you can go to plex.tv claim and get a token. Go to advanced. Now you see here we have Intel AMD hardware transcoding. Since dev DRI was detected, you could enable dev DRI here for hardware transcoding. All right, review YAML. This is your YAML file. You can again see this. You can take it to any of the chatbot that you trust. Ask chatbot what each thing does if you want to add anything, or if you're okay with it. Click on deploy. Okay, done. Simple. Let's look at Immich, whether it's working or not. Yes, Immich is working. It just took us a few clicks. Plex, yep, working. This is very simple. I have right now I have Vault Warden. I have a transmission, two transmission containers. One is regular one is transmission through Gluten. So if you want to install transmission and you want the traffic to go through Gluten, I have a very comprehensive thing whereby I have given all the VPN providers in a drop down, the official ones that Gluten supports. You can select whether it's OpenVPN or WireGuard, and then you just have to use these fields. If you look at official Gluten, you have to write a long compose file. This is it about installing this thing. I have my GitHub page here, and here is you can see the entire source code here. Okay, everything is here. Let me show you the compose file that we used. All right, this is the compose file that I use. This is the image name, the port. One environment has to be set always, EasyDocker password. Without this container will not start, because the first time you access it, it asks you for a username and password. Username is always admin, and the password is here. This is the Docker socket mounting. We do this so that we can get the access to host Docker, which is running on your UGREEN in this example, and we have to bind one base directory. Okay, so any directory we have to designate that as the base directory and mount it as base config. Now this base config is important because this is where a lot of configuration is going to be stored. So if you look at it, uh, I've I did a binding of base config2 to base config. So base config, you see all the recipes are here. Okay, if I deleted these recipes, you will see that you will not have recipes here, so you'll have to refresh it again. It will download 14 recipes and they will again appear here, right? Now these are the folders. We made 3 containers: Immich, Plex, and Tailscale. Plex goes under base config TSG Plex, which has got 3 metadata, the compose file for Plex, and the recipe. Okay, recipe the way it was at that time. It also makes it very easy to reinstall it, or update the image. For example, let's say Plex. If you realize that Plex has got a newer version, you just have to click on this here, review and redeploy. Change any settings here if you want to change, and then click on review YAML, update image and redeploy. See, now earlier we only had one button. When you redeploy, you have 2 buttons, update image and deploy as well. When you click this, it will pull a new image and deploy. So let's wait for the live log. Okay, see, this is pulling latest image. You see the first log, it's pulling, it's downloading the image. It will download the image and then recreate the container, so you can very easily update with this as well. This is it for now. I'll be doing many more videos on this now, and the direction I'm going to take is I'm going to do videos around EasyDocker, where I'll show you how you can install any of these apps easily using EasyDocker. Okay, and of course I'll always the way I do, I will always explain everything. I will not just tell you that put this thing here. I'll tell you what we are using and why we are using, right? So this is it. If you have any comments, feel free to ask in the comment box, and thank you.